Good noon, Cebu. Hello? Tao sa likod, pwede bigyan ako ng isang palakpak. One to go. Isa lang. One to go. Okay, gising pa tayo. Sabi ko kanina with the organizers, medyo malayo man, pero sige na lang, marinig naman siguro ninyo. Okay. Okay lang mga seminarians and the students. Hello? Okay pa tayo, bahala na gutom. Okay. So my topic is Interfaith Dialogue Program in the Archdiocese of Cotabato. It's timely because our theme today in this year is more on the year of ecumenism and interreligious dialogue. So this research is a product of one of my research in our institution. Then when I submitted my abstract, sabi ko tanggapin kaya ito. Then, naisip ko, baka tanggapin. Kasi today is the year of interreligious dialogue. So, salamat naman. Then, yesterday, with the sharing of other speakers, especially the bishops, and the other sasunod na mga speakers, we're talking about dialogue, and they are also talking about their encounter with Pope John Paul II, Saint John Paul II. I had also my encounter when I was still young seminarians and newly professed member as a religious way back 1995. That's the World Youth Day. Every time we shouted, Pope John Paul, we love you. Then when he passed by, kasi nandoon kami lahat ng mga seminarians, yung the aura, as well as hindi ko maintindihan yung nararamdaman ko. Sabi ko sa katabi ko, bro, magiging santo ito. Then after how many years, nagkatotoo, nagdilang anghel. So salamat John Paul II. Okay, let's move on. I noticed during the presentation, I asked also one of the presenters, paano? Because I was waiting in my email about the flow. Sabi one of the brother here, sabi na, bro, ganito lang, you know, in philosophy, hindi naman strike anywhere, just give the introduction, the body, then conclusion. But I prepared the imrad. But well, sige na lang. The Roman Catholic Church has been actively engaged in the interreligious dialogue ever since the Second Vatican Council, especially the promulgation of the landmark document, the Nostra Aetate, which discusses the relation of the Church to the non-Christian religions stated. In these age hours, when people drawing more closely together and bonds of relationship between different peoples are being strengthened, the Church examines with greater care in relation which she has to non-Christian religions, ever aware of her duty to foster unity, what tends to promote fellowship among them. Fast track na lang natin ha. In the last 4 decades, the Catholics and the Protestants worldwide have been seriously rethinking their attitudes toward other religion. The Second Vatican Council is now seen as watershed event in this new openness towards the Jews, the Muslims, the Buddhists, the Hindus, the Sikhs, the indigenous peoples, and others. Indeed, the Church has come to recognize and respect the presence of grace, truth, and holiness in other religion. Then during the pontificate of John Paul XXIII, he was a natural-born economist, and he was succeeded by Pope Paul VI, and dreamed of the Church in the conversion with all religions and cultures in the world. Then Pope Paul became the chief architect and the secretariat for non-Christians. Then later on, he was succeeded by Pope John Paul II, Saint John Paul II, readily embraced Pope Paul's commitment to dialogue and quickly expanded the Church interreligious outreach. To the interfaith task, John Paul II brought a practical hands-on approach and a tireless capacity for travel. Then he made a lot of travels all over the world. I think there are 129 countries. Then, in my research, the decision to integrate the interfaith dialogue in the various programs, especially in our land, Mindanao, came out as a reflection that while the nature of conflict in Mindanao is not necessarily religious in nature, it has a religious color. Just the same, if religion has become a source of conflict, it would also become a source of peace. As our coordinator said, Father Robert Laison, an Oblate of Mary Immaculate in our Archdiocese, we realize too that we will only have peace in the world when there is peace among religions, and that we can only have peace among religions when we encounter into authentic dialogue with believers. There was also a proclamation, presidential proclamation supporting this interreligious faith, then with the organization, particularly the Bishop Ulama Conference. Then the methods used of the researcher is more on document analysis, focus group discussion, and of course the KII. My respondents, the youth leaders, Muslims and Christians who are beneficiaries of this interfaith dialogue, as well as the residents and the religious leaders. Then the result, the socio-political event that led the formation of the interfaith dialogue in the Archdiocese have many different forms, directly or indirect. In the document prepared by the coordinator, Father Laison, issues raised were social and political, graft and corruption, poor judicial system, and inflamed religious fashion. So we'll just fast track this one. Then the researcher also used the model, particularly this one, the forms of dialogue. So the first one is the dialogue of life. This is the form of dialogue. It surpasses the personal experience by people. The famous example of this during war, especially in our land. When the massive displacement way back 2001, a huge number of Muslim and Christian families from different places of Pikit. Pikit now is our model parish in the Archdiocese, promoting this interfaith dialogue headed by our coordinator, Father Laison. These supporters, according to Father Mercado, I think some are familiar with my professor in my PhD, Father Mercado, Eliseo Mercado, also an OMI. May dinagdag siya dito that dialogue of life happens at the marketplace amongst the common persons on the streets. It is a dialogue where believers of different religions bear witness to the religious values, convictions in their everyday life, in their homes, workplace, and neighborhoods. In other words, this dialogue is taking place when spiritual and human values shape day-to-day interactions of peoples with their neighbors of other faiths. So I have here some examples. Salip, a Muslim, died to save the life of a Christian girl. So ito yun si Salip. Salip was a tricycle driver. Siguro kayo from Cebu, medyo sa amin because of the sensationalization of the mass media, ang nangyari sa amin parang war freak ang mga tao sa Mindanao. May katotohanan, may hindi din totoo. Because I was born there. Kaya nga, when I studied in this institution, first in the seminary, nagpakilala ako. I am Jose Arnold Alferez from Cotabato. Lingi dahil mga Cebuano. Kuyawan ni mo ba no? Muslim ka? Muros ka? War freak ka? Sabi ko, discrimination, grabe. But this is an example. Ito ngayon, a Muslim saving the life of that child, a Christian girl, yung nasa gitna. Tricycle driver, gusto sana itong i-kidnap. ng, of course, the ransom, kidnap for ransom group, particularly mga kapatid naming mga Muslim. Sinave ito sa Muslim talaga. Nagpakamatay siya. Then nasave itong batang ito. Another, his Muslim friends sent him a sack of rice and vegetables. During this time, in Pikit, during those times, there was a seminar of this extraordinary minister of the Eucharist. Magkaibigan kasi doon, Christians and Muslims. Nagseminar itong mga kaabag, dinalhan ng Muslim friend ng isang sakong bigas at saka vegetables. So yon, ang gandang example din. This one, a Muslim carry a coffin of Lola Uray, a Christian. The story of this, Lola Uray, their neighbor, mga Muslims, itong nasa nagkarga og kuan ba, lungon, mga Muslims ito siya. Then when they were still a kid, Lola Uray used to feed these children. That's the goodness of Lola Uray. When he died, the Muslim children nagtigulang na sila yung nag-volunteer to carry the coffin of Lola Uray. So yan yung isa sa mga example. Then another model na ginawa ko is the dialogue of action. Muslim and Christians learn to conduct activities together. These activities are anchored on peace building and promotion of the dialogue, particularly in Pikit. One particular example of this is the celebration of Peace Days. Every December, we celebrate the Peace Week. Every second week of December. So ito yung ding mga example. Ayan. Kasagsagan ng gera, Muslim, Christian volunteers brought food to starving evacuees. And ito yun, mga taong ito. Halo-halo na ito. Kristiyano, Muslim. Ayan. Another, ito. A Muslim by the name of Normina, a typical young Muslim lady who wears the tundong. Tundong is the hijab in Arabic. Hijab is yung scarf in English, yung nakatundong. Then stayed at the convent for 6 months. Bakit nagstay siya doon? Because she made her research. Then our coordinator, yung nakashort dyan, a very simple priest, Father Lyson, pinatuloy siya. Okay? Then another, ayan. About 800 Muslim and Christian mothers cook for food for more than 10,000 children 5 times a week for 3 months during the supplemented feeding program in the covering 42 barangays, particularly in the parish of Pikit, North Cotabato. Then another example, Ginapalad Taka. That's one of the program, which means, I bless you. But this Ginapalad Taka is an acronym of the 7 barangays, like Hinatila, Nilapaan, Pulangi, then Lagundi, and the rest. Okay? So, now it became the zone for peace. Wala nang gulo. Then, ayan. Yung sinabi ko kanina, every December, we have a week for peace. The next model is the dialogue of discourse. And many times, Muslim and Christian religious leaders sit together to talk about common teachings on religion. This happens during the celebration of Mindanao Week of Peace and other occasions. The dialogue of discourse often takes place on the formal level amongst the trained scholars, religious leaders, and theologians of the different religions. Principally, it serves as the platform where experts come together to discern points and convergences and areas of divergences. They also serve to correct the misinformation or distorted views of believers have about to their to the other religion. So, may mga example din. Ayan. This is the Bishop Ulama Forum. The ulama, they are the parang learned Muslims, a scholar. Then, of course, with the bishops, including the priest and other religious, as well as faculty members. And I was also one of the member before. Pero naging inactive naman na ako ngayon. Then we have also the ustad, the priest. Ustad, this is a teacher, a guru. Islamic term of a teacher, Islamic teacher. Then of course the pastor and the imam. Then there's also a symposium, dialogue and peace symposium. Then the last one, the last model of this research is the dialogue of religious experience. So I'll not read, I'll just show you some of the examples. Yan. We have the Duyog Pasko. This Duyog Pasko, this is in solidarity with our Muslim brothers, especially when we celebrate Christmas. Duyog, that's a Cebuano word, in solidarity, which means in solidarity, to be in solidarity with our Christian, kami yung mga Kristiyano. That's why, in Cotabato, in our Archdiocese, every December, mauna pa yung mga Muslim maglagay ng Christmas lights. So, yung kagandahan of this program. Then, kung kainan, may kainan din. So, another program, we have the Duyog Ramadan. Ramadan is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. Yung nagpuasa sila for 30 days. Then, kaming mga Kristiyano, to be with their experience, yung duyog mo sa ilaha, they will not eat whole day. And there are some of us Catholics, priests, the religious, hindi din kumakain. Okay? To be with, pero kakain, malapit naman, during the night. Okay, paspasan na to. Then we have the Duyog Samayan. Duyog Samayan, this is the festivity of our Lumads, the indigenous people. In the diocese, marami kaming Manobo as well as the Tiduray. Then we have the Duyog Fiesta. This happened in Datupiang. Datupiang is dominated by the Muslim brothers and sisters. Mga 0.00 something lang mga Katoliko doon. Then every feast day, ini-invite sila. Nag-i-enjoy sila. Then another thing, standing as sponsors during the Muslim and Christian weddings. So, then, helping and sympathizing one another when somebody dies in the community. I think there are 4 priests, our priests in the Archdiocese, na pinatay. Recently was Father Roda. Then, pero pinatay sa doon sa Hulo. Lahat pinatay sa labat. They came from our Archdiocese. Nung sa libing, daming nakiramay na mga kapatid nating mga Muslim. And of course, there are challenges of this research. Then, the major findings, the socio-political event that led to the formation of the interfaith dialogue in the Archdiocese were the lack of knowledge of one's religion. That's why it was also mentioned, especially for us Catholics, there is a need for us to have an intra-religious dialogue, especially nowadays with this year of inter-religious dialogue, because there are some Christians, Catholics who are close-minded. Kami lang maligtas, outside the church, there is no salvation. Yun yung turo natin noon, and until today, nanatili sa iba. Then another one, the context of the program, the Archdiocese of Cotabato, also includes the history. So in our history, there was a resistance, especially with our Muslim brothers and sisters. Sabi nga, with my interview with one of my KII respondents, sabi niya, you know, our land, Mindanao, is being Christianized. Kaya nga, yun yung mga biases pumapasok na. Then, to conclude, hindi ko na lang basahin yan, but I would like to show you a short demonstration. Okay lang ba? 2 minutes, madam, kaya pa. So I have here, hello, kita ninyo? Okay, 2 minutes. Anong nakikita ninyo? There are 3 tali. The blue, the yellow, as well as the pula. Now, in our context in Mindanao, we have the so-called tribe people. But the 3 colors, pare-pareho man sila. But in reality, kita namin sa aming lugar ang diskriminasyon. Okay? The discrimination. But because of this interreligious dialogue, pwede ka tayo volunteer, madam? Sino mag-volunteer? 2? Kailangan kong 2 volunteer. Sige na, kaya wala na akong time. Go. Sir, ang moderator na lang nato. Dali, sir. Dirita sa taas. 2. Okay. In our context, halimbawa, si madam, siya yung Christian Catholic. Si sir ang Muslim. Okay? Ako yung lumad. Okay? Kaya nga, the tribe people in Mindanao. And because of this interreligious dialogue, as a result, we have to go hand in hand. Okay? So, sundan nyo ako, sir. Talingin nyo, madam. Yan. Okay? So, tinali nila. Kaya nga, ladies and gentlemen, ganito yon. As a result of this dialogue, may maganda ring resulta. Kahit na until today, may problema pa rin. That's why na-come up itong research ko kasi sa kagandahan ng resulta. Ganito yun, sir. I as lumad, indigenous person, si ma'am as Catholic, Kristiyano, si sir kunwari ang Muslim, okay? Assalamualaikum. Alaikum wassalam. Okay. Si madam, yan. Okay lang, madam? Tinali niya, ha? Bilang isang Kristiyano. Si sir, na kunwari bilang isang Muslim. Okay, kuha? 3. Then ako as indigenous people. Okay lang, sir? Okay. Now, because of this interreligious dialogue, kaming 3 mga tao sa Mindanao, we decided to move on, to go together, hawak kamay, walang iwanan. Sa pamamagitan ng werpan ni madam at saka kay sir, hipan ninyo. You blow. Okay, sir. Okay, may power man sila. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one good thing in Mindanao because interfaith dialogue, we move together. At ganito yung nangyayari. We will count 1, 2, 3. 1 to go.
1.
Sabay-sabay, 1 to go.
1, 2, 3.
Daghan kaayong salamat. Okay, sir. Ayos. Sige, salamat.